Okay, we're here, Bridget. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, what are we doing right now?
We're kind of walking around campus looking for some people to ask them some questions.
Yeah. Let's go and see who we can find.
All right. That
All right,
sounds like
let's
fun. I have a question for you today.
Okay, here's the question.
What do you think it means to be present?
What does it mean to be present?
To be present.
Present.
It's a really good question. I wish I had a really good answer.
I think whenever I think of being present, I think of like living in the moment,
enjoying where you are right now in life.
I think if you're present, if you're talking about with an individual, you're not in your head too much and preoccupied with what homework you have or any other tasks you might have to do during the day. You're just in the moment and really focused on being with that person.
I don't know. I think it means to be like there and attentive. You know, always like, truly be there and not just standing there, actually listening.
Right. To me, to be present is that you're interacting with other people and finding a way to communicate and speak to people in a generalization of a good time.
Right. I feel to be present is when your presence is felt, even when you're not there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think presence is.
To be present, to like know your surroundings, to like listen around you, to listen when people are talking, not just like hear them.
Yeah.
To really be in the moment.
It just be there for the ones who love you and just enjoy the moment and not distract and try to check your phone or do something else. Just be there at the moment and hear what people have to say to you.
To be present is just to be in the moment. Like she said, that was the first thing that came to mind, and just, I don't know, like be deeply involved with it.
That's big for us as Benedictines. They call it the gift of, or the ministry of presence. But I'm thinking that I'd like to reframe it and say, what does it mean not to be present? What does it mean to be a present? And I don't mean that indifferently, but rather insofar as God has blessed us with many gifts, each of us, and that one of the greatest things that we're given the privilege to do, as St. Paul says, is to outdo one another in showing honor.
And what do you think is this biggest distraction that causes you not to be present?
What's the biggest barrier, do you think, for people to be present?
Being in your head.
Yes, technology.
I think worrying about your past, worrying about your future.
past struggles or future struggles you might like encounter.
Cell phones. I think that really prevents people from focusing on what's happening in the moment.
I think there's so many distractions today, phone and technology and everything, and we lose the opportunity of enjoying the moment we are at, because we're always thinking ahead, what I'm gonna do, what I could have done, and we don't stay with people. We don't enjoy the simple things of life each moment.
Communicate in a way if everybody could, relate to maybe, or, speak about morals and things that everybody else may, want to know about, or, just communicating with, different people that you're not following with, you're not used to being with, and just being in that state and, everybody getting along and, like you said, having a good time.
I think our lives are filled with like a lot of distractions. So that kind of takes away from like just being fully present or like living in that moment.
Like what?
Like what?
That's one distraction.
I would say my phone's a big distraction.
Oh, definitely.
Just because like I'm constantly on it, looking and scrolling.
There it is. Look at
There it is.
Until somebody comes up, maybe until somebody, comes up with a good social interaction with them, or something that maybe they can relate to, sometimes that's what you have to do to come. Sometimes you just got to be bold and just, you know, walk up to somebody.
The first thing that came to mind was probably like social media and like your phones, because you're constantly on your phone and like you always want to check it, and it takes you away from like your surroundings and where you are. Yeah.
I think all these social media, the phones, they get you close to people from far away, but they take you away from the people close to you. So you have to always have a balance in there. And if you're with people in the moment, just be with them. If you're if you're by yourself, then you can call people and get in touch with those who are far away.
Or what do you think we're concluding about this answer? What does it mean to be present? What are the distractions?
The distractions are definitely social media, cell phones, you know, just different devices that they're on. I think it makes them lose their focus. And I thought the one student who mentioned the idea of an escape versus, or validation versus communication is a really good point.
You know, I really, it is interesting how we look for that validation. You know, and what is it that we're looking for? And it seems like the validation is that I'm important, that people care about me, that I belong to somebody. And I think after answering those questions of who we are, you know, and whose we are as a son or daughter of God the Father, and then where are we going, which is ultimately to be in relation with Him forever in heaven,
right, is
huge to actually keep that in mind. How does this question, you think, apply for now in terms of kind of rejuvenating my prayer life? Like, man, how do I find God to be present to me in my own prayer life?